Hola, ¿qué tal? How's everybody out there doing in YouTube Fragrance Land? Thanks for joining me here on my channel, Stephen Sturgill. I'm your host for the next few minutes. Let's get into it, guys. You know I'm on an oud kick right now. Coming very late to the party, that's fine. What else is new? And I was sort of, well, I wasn't turned on to this fragrance. I don't want to say it like that. I found out about this fragrance sort of by accident on Fragrantica, looking around, looking at different ouds and things like that. And I said, people who like this fragrance, like that fragrance. And I found out about this guy, Vince Camuto Smoked Oud. Smoked Oud by Vince Camuto. So, nice bottle. It's a little kitschy, if I'm totally honest. I mean, this is obviously not real leather. It's some kind of pleatherized canvas, I believe. That on closer inspection is just ever so slightly tacky. Um, but I like the color. It's got that fake metal. Well, I mean, that's real metal, but I mean, I believe it's real metal. If it isn't, it's really hard and fairly sharp in the corners. I'm assuming that's metal. Then the cap is textured with this same squishy material, pleatherized canvas. Top, guys, is really strong. I'm moving that pretty hard and does not want to come off. So that is a fantastically secure cap. Has a red, I don't know if you call it anodized or whatever, chromed, something like that. So that is the presentation, and it is I believe 100 mils. Yes, 3.4. Curiously enough, guys, this says made in USA. Parlux Fragrances, Parlux Fragrance LLC, New York. So, as Italian or European or French as this may seem, it ain't. It is American, baby. America. Anyway, so I have smelled some Vince Camutos throughout the years, and I'd be brutally blunt. I've never been that impressed with most of their offerings. They smell generic, but good generic, if that makes sense. So they don't smell bad, but they don't smell as great as the Uber uh, tier one designer frags, if that makes sense. You know, like Dior's, most of the Armani line, Paco Rabanne even. I've never really felt that the Vince Camutos were, to me, they're not even up to Bulgari. They're just not. They're okay. They're interesting. They're not terrible. They're pretty good. But would I go out and buy one? Generally not. But as I said, Fragrantica had this was the highest rated perfume, cologne, whatever you can call it, eau de toilette. I think is this eau de toilette? Yes, this is an eau de toilette concentration. This is the highest I'd ever seen personally on Fragrantica. It was a perfect five. Yeah, perfect five out of maybe like 13 votes, I want to say. 10 or 12, 13 votes. Uh, Maybe less than that. I don't remember how many votes there were, but of course, I'm not necessarily going to pull a trigger on a fragrance just because someone says it's a perfect five. But, I'm into ouds. I figured why not. So I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I think I picked this up on one of the local not local, but online local discounters for about, I want to say about 40 bucks, give or take. Somewhere between 35, 45, let's say. Definitely was not more than 50. Before I get into the smell and what I think of it, it's dropped a little bit. I think it's at around 4.87. So it's dropping just a tad, but that's fine. Nose on this was a guy that works for IFF. And he did. His name is Steve DeMercado, and I'm sure some of you out there have heard of him. If you're into perfumes at a high level, you've probably heard of this nose. Steve has designed a lot of fragrances. He's done some really cool, the Harajuku lovers, and the cute little Japanese, American looking, or Americanized Japanese doll perfumes. He's done some Moscata. He did Escape for Men, Calvin Klein, Brooks Brothers, Black Fleece. I thought that was, or I think that was a very attractive bottle. Scent Trend for Women by Avon. That's going way back to '98. Marc Jacobs, he did Blush. Marc Jacobs for Women. Mary Kay, Dance of Life for Women. Michael Jordan, he did Michael Jordan. Wow. Michael Kors, some Michael Kors stuff. Some Jennifer Lopez, Love at First Glow. Jessica Simpson, Fancy Nights. Guess for Men. That's a cool throwback bottle design, kind of like a jigsaw puzzle. Going back to '06. I don't want to spend too much time talking about stuff he's done. Queen Latifah, Queen of Hearts, Queen by Queen. Some Hilfiger, some Paris Hilton, some Nicole Richie. Very sexy for him too, with a little green looking juice bottle. I don't know what color the juice was, but the bottle was sort of a see-through, very light gray green sort of, or a turquoisey green, by Victoria's Secret. And then for Vince Camuto, he's done the For Women, the Vince Camuto Homme, which was the blue leather, or pleather, 2014. And now this Smoked Oud, guys, came out in 2017, so it's only a year old. A very, very recent frag, for sure. What do we get? We get smoked rose in the top notes, davana and juniper berries. And then we get incense in the heart, warming things up a bit with spices and centifolia rose. So two totally different types of rose are in this. So it's going to have this very plush, velveteen, but yet smoky rose. We get aged oud, which I'm assuming is agar based, but I'm not 100% sure. Amber, and finally tonka, to give sort of a rounded vanilla-like note and creaminess to the fragrance. It's woody, it's mysterious, it exudes sophistication. Well, that's what they're saying here. I do agree, it does exude sophistication. It's a warm, aromatic, floral, spicy, but floral only in the sense of the two roses. There's no other florals in here that I know of. There might be a note or two. I doubt it. There's the juniper, which gives it that little sort of sharp, almost effervescent green type, bluish type green, if that makes any sense. But more than anything, guys, this is just about a creamy, smoky, rose-based oud. And the oud is very creamy, somewhat quite soft, somewhat subdued, and yet at the same time, quite strong, actually. It's just not overly pungent. I'm going to go ahead and spray a dab here. And this was not my scent of the day, so I don't want to get all over me right now. I'm fixing to go to bed, but wow. That is rich. Guys, there's almost a very light sort of candied aspect to it. You get the juniper along with that centifolia rose mixing with the amber and tonka, the davana. Again, that smoked rose coming right up with the incense and the spices. Almost like a little star anise maybe is hiding in here somewhere. Something like a caramelized licorice. There's something almost at the base, like a very soft cedar, but yet not a cedar that I'm familiar with here in the West. Maybe like, I don't know, some kind of European cedar or something, or pine. It's very, very soft. It's very, very faint. Again, there's that agar wood. I believe agar coming out with the aged oud. The tonka. This is rich, heady. Again, there's that amber chord in here. It's a little bit resinous, but at the same time, it's creamy and it's soft, guys. It is off the hook. You know, Steve of the Nose has a DeMercado I believe he's worked for several years for the IFF, which is obviously one of the biggest powerhouses in fragrance in the whole wide world. They're a juggernaut. This is divine. I wouldn't say, well, it's not overly complex. I mean, there's not like lots of different stories going on here, but there are several different notes, and it's not overly simplistic. I would say, in a simplistic sense, this has like about distinctively, as far as what the average person is going to smell, it has about 3 notes and 1 accord. That's about it. I know there's more information in it, but that's basically what you're going to get. You're going to get the smoked, creamy, rosy oud, and then you're going to get some of the spice and incense, certainly, but the incense is mixing with the roses and the davana. And then the juniper berry gives that little typical juniper kick, along with the tonka and the amber. But it just works so well together. I could honestly see this being layered with something else, but be careful, guys. You don't want to go too strong. This is not beast mode, but it's nowhere near weak either. So be careful if you're going to use it as a layering element, or if you're going to layer something over it. Make sure what you're layering is very light or very linear. You do not want to kill the essence of the fragrance that you're wearing as a major base. So be careful if you're layering. Also be careful that they don't clash. A lot of times people go and they absolutely end up clashing, and you get like a weird funky sour mix. Not recommended. Be very careful with layering. Test, apply the complementary fragrance lightly at first and see if it works before you decide to go heavier, or it's just going to be smelling all over the place, and that is just weird. Don't do it. I think we've all probably done that at least once or twice, if we're being honest. That's going to wrap it up, guys. This is a mature scent for sure. I don't personally imagine anyone under the age of 24 to 25 casually rocking the scent, but be my guest if you want to. It's sexy. It's sophisticated. You could club in this. You could go to a business meeting in this. Although, again, be careful because it's a little pungent. It's quite strong. And if you're going to be at a business meeting or a church or something like that, I would definitely only go maybe 1-2 sprays max. Yeah, it's, how can I say? It's almost like an almost beast mode fragrance. You know what I'm saying? It's not La Yuquam, but man, I could imagine if you go heavy with this, dude, you are gonna gas the room out. So in that sense, it's almost beast mode. Be very careful with applications. 3 max, unless you just want to kill it. Or if you're gonna walk around, let it just air out naturally for about an hour before you present yourself to people, then I could maybe see getting away with 5 to 6 sprays. But only if you're gonna air yourself out for about an hour before you actually start getting around other human beings. Unless they really like to roll hard and heavy with intense oud, incense, spice, and wood-based fragrances like this, along with, again, quite a dollop of rose with the smoke, with the centifolia, and the juniper berries and the davana. That's going to do it. I love this fragrance. I highly recommend it if you're into oud and if you're into rose-based, oud-based fragrances, or you just want to try something new. If you don't want to pull the trigger on a $40 to $50 bottle, order yourself a decant or sample at your local high-end perfumer, or find one perhaps off eBay or Amazon. That is going to do it. Thanks for sticking around. If you like, please subscribe and please hit the bell for future updates, guys. That is going to do it. Thanks for joining me. Spray often if it smells great. Spray well and live life on your terms, not someone else's. Please, why would you? Life is short. Peace. I'm out. Love you guys. Next time.